Let's make some ice cream. Okay, pickles, you know. All right, we'll make some ice cream. The first ice cream that I've been told to make today, nah, nobody tells me what to do. We'll make Nutella vanilla. Has anybody not had Nutella before? Do you not know what Nutella is? Okay, it's actually a hazelnut chocolate spread, and it's the food of the gods. I could sit down with a spoon and go, she's nodding.
My son ate it for 6 years straight.
Yeah. Okay, so are you familiar with these? These are bladders. This is what the ice cream mix comes in. You need ice cream mix to make ice cream. Basically, it's cream and skim milk and a few other things. It's not a bad product. If you're a coffee drinker with cream in your coffee, put this in your coffee and you'll freak out. It's so good. So these are bladders. There are 10 quarts in a bladder, and this is pretty universal around the country. They come 2 bladders to a case. They run anywhere, average $45 for the case. So these are about $22.50. When we did in class the pricing, we bumped it up to $25. What the heck, right? And we still made a boatload of money.
What's the butterfat of that, Jeff?
We use 10% butterfat. You can get them if you're going to a gelato, you'll go to 8% or 6%. If you're going up to a Haagen-Dazs, you'll go to 14%. But the crazy thing is, and I don't make any money on these machines, you got to believe me. But with this infinite overrun control on this machine where you can vary the speeds, you can vary the thickness of your ice cream. You can, instead of running it at 234, which is regular homemade ice cream, you can run it down to 175 like a gelato, and your ice cream will be that much thicker and creamier and richer. However, you'll get less yield, of course, because there's less air being put into it, which is not a bad thing. What? What?
Sorry.
So, I don't really have a recipe yet for this because it's brand new, but we'll work it out. And we'll also, you wanted a Variegate, right? Yes. So we'll Variegate this, okay? We'll get to that in a minute. So this is a 24-quart machine, and all my recipes, I did bring only 5 books with me, so if you want a book, let me know. They're ridiculously overpriced. My recipes are geared for, in my machine, which is a 24, 10 quarts. Now, let's just see how the caliber of the audience. Let's say we weren't making it in this machine. Let's say we made it in that machine. How much mix would you use?
5 by 4.
How much?
Divide by 4.
How much?
Was 6, right?
How much?
3.5 quarts.
How much?
2.5.
Thank you. Okay. So it took all of you and then a 22-year-old in the back nail it. Okay. Enough said. So we'll add this. If you haven't worked with these before, just give them the respect they deserve, because if you drop it, they'll explode. And then you got 4 hours of cleaning up to do. Because it's cream. It's basically cream. At my store, you can get them delivered 2 ways. You can get them delivered like this. Well, I'm sorry, you can get them delivered one way, but you can use them 2 ways. You can use them right away like this, or you can freeze them. During the break, check out in the freezer there where Sammy's sitting, and you'll see frozen. Frozen, they'll last, he'll be able to use them. Ben, you're 12, right? 11. Ben will be able to use them when he's making ice cream. But in this state, you're looking at maybe 2 weeks. It's the same as putting cream in your refrigerator. I keep my refrigerators low, like 36. But 40 is really pretty much average. So they'll last 2 weeks. But you'll get weekly deliveries. How many people here are from Florida? In Florida, there are two places where you get mix. One is down in South Florida in Boynton Beach called Ice Cream Club. The other is on the West Coast in Sarasota called Dairy Mix. And they'll both deliver to you. It's a question of preference. The last thing I remember is that Ice Cream Club doesn't come down to 10%. They start at 12%, I think. So our resident expert here on everything just informed me that they now make a 10%. Is that right?
Up to 16, correct? 15.
Actually, you can go up to 18. I don't know what they make locally, but there are places 18. Because as Steve has always told you, the fat wars, which is stupid. Now, I use 10%, and I guarantee you can't tell the difference between my ice cream and Haagen-Dazs at 16%. You can't.
Have you tried to do fatter than 10%?
Yeah, I tried 12, and I dumped it. I didn't like it. No, especially in Florida. You from Florida? In Florida, when the weather gets warm, you can't eat high-fat ice cream. I mean, you just feel it. You know, whoa, no good. So I like it. Well, you'll see, you'll taste it. You know, whatever you want. But you can go wherever you want to go. Okay? So this is a 24-quart machine. And let's see. Oh, okay, we're going to make Nutella vanilla. Now, I used to use Nutella right in here. And it works, but it's really sloppy. I mean, you can't pour Nutella. It's really thick. So I came up with a way to incorporate it into the machine kind of easily. And that is using this and a little mix. That's just a little frozen. All right, let's put it here. And now put the Nutella in here. As you can see, it's real thick. So you did a good job yesterday of this.
Thank you. Did you use the whole bucket?
Let's see.
Okay. He's never made it before.
Oh, you see how hard this is to work with? It's really, but that's how good it is. You've had Nutella before, right?
Yes.
A lot of it? No.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're still pretty trim. You eat a lot of this.
Could you put it in the microwave and warm it up?
You could. Who sees a microwave here? Okay. The reason it's this hard is that I drove here an hour and it was in the trunk. But all we have to do is get it into this bucket. So you can talk amongst yourselves. Look, I got the best laugh out of the pickle guy. Go figure. Go figure. Now, I got to tell you, when you buy this, it's not, and you usually won't buy it in this kind of quantity. This is 106 ounces. In the store, you can get smaller ones. Has anybody not tasted this? Okay. You haven't tasted it? Come on up here.
I've never tried it.
Get a spoon.
Take a little bit?
Yeah. Try that.
That is good.
Isn't that amazing?
That tastes like Hershey's chocolate.
Well, it's a little better than Hershey's chocolate. Well, I'm getting a little tired of this.
You should go through somehow, do it. You did such a good job.
How about a metal thing?
Spread.
What do you think?
Yeah.
We could use a big metal thing, but I don't see a big metal thing. Oh. I should have asked you to do this, You'd have it done already, wouldn't you?
Probably not.
Now, what did we make with this the other day in class? Nutella vanilla. Okay, we're going to change it a little.
No, it was that, it was a chocolate, mix. Yeah,
I know, it's not very interesting, is it? That's all right.
It was velvet.
Oh, chocolate velvet, that's right. So we haven't made this, right? And I chose this so that we can do your Variegate.
Thank you.
You ever see the ice creams that have the stripes running through it of different flavors and stuff? What do you say? Yeah. That's a Variegate. And we'll show you how to do it. So, and you can even do it in ices or cream ice.
What's the variant you use?
What?
What flavor are you using?
Well, I'll tell you in a second. As soon as this is like work here. I didn't sign on for this. A microwave wouldn't be a bad thing, would it? Although it'd probably explode somehow. All right, can you do a Variegate in Italian ices? You see, let me tell you about Italian ices. Italian ices go back a long time, obviously. They say the pharaohs invented it with snow and flavor. However, in my lifetime, Italian ices have always been a cheaper, more basic product. But I don't think there's any reason why you can't bring Italian ices into the 21st century with ridiculous flavors, with Variegates. You know, if you're going to open up a store for Italian ices or a stand or whatever and sell lemon, cherry, and chocolate or mango, I think you're missing the future. I think the future is this stuff and ribbons of swirls going through it and exotic flavors. That's just my opinion. All right, so now we have 106 ounces. How much are we going to use? All of it. We have 106 ounces of Nutella in 10 quarts of mix. Right? Well, that's not 10, but it will be once we get it in the machine. Hang on one second. Stuff gets everywhere. So now the goal is to mix it up. And 10 years ago, when I was trying to mix stuff up, I think it was peanut butter at that time, or Reese's cups. I was making ice cream. A friend of mine was sitting there and we were talking. He was watching me make it. And I was using this. And after about 5 minutes, he said, "Stop." And I stopped and he said, "I'll be right back." And 15 minutes later, he came back from Home Depot with a paint mixer. A paint mixer, that's all this is. As a matter of fact, it comes a little longer. This morning I had my new one cut down. And it's a paint mixer. And I wish the camera could see this. Mike, you can't see this, can you? Mike?
He fell asleep.
I can't see a real good shot of it.
Okay, just want to make sure you're still there. All right, but you can see the color here, right? On the side, everybody? So you talk about efficient. This is efficient. And this was pretty hard and thick, wasn't it? At the store, it went much, right? It was done already. But that's all right. What do you else have to do? You got nothing to do. Free ice cream, free lunch. Just sit and behave yourself. What happened?
Too thick.
What? No.
Well, you used the battery drill this time. You had electric.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
See, I should have used their drill.
Turn it up.
You can't, can you? No. Should have used your drill. Well, it's not the torque.
We'll get it out for the next one. I'll be right back.
There is no next one. But it's working. We're getting there. Just take it. But you're right, the electric drill, no problem. It's not my new paint mixer, is it? No. Cordless drills suck. Ah, there we go. Nice color, working good. Now, really, all we have to do is be able to get it in there because the world's greatest mixer is here. So I just don't want to leave a lot of it on the sides here. But so you're eating it. I'm not selling it, so. Okay, that'll have to do. Yike. Now, should I do this to get it off? No. No? Front row. Remember, what's his name? Front row used to have to wear ponchos? Gallagher. Gallagher. Let's see. Who wants to lick the beater? I do. All right, so now we'll pour this in here. But of course we should have, why is this so high? This should be lower. That's another thing. He just added this to the machine's adjustable shelves. I don't have that. All right, so now we'll throw this in here. Ooh, is he going to spill it? Not too bad.
You pour more mix in that.
Yes, I can, and then do it again, right? That's how you would do it with pure pickle juice.
I guess I didn't miss anything while I was out. Well, I left when you were talking about pickle juice. Sorry, it's a little warm. Our air conditioning was off. It's being re-turned on right now.
All right, just add a little more of this stuff and we'll be good. Okay. Now what do we need?
Breaking for break.
Come on. The rest of the mix, of course.
And dog flying.
That's Mike Black, future successful. What's that?
If you didn't know what you're doing, we're messed up.
I love the accent. I could listen to him talk all day.
Oh, no.
Richard Meyer, right there.
We need you.
Okay, so who's keeping track of the recipe? Anybody? Nobody. Nobody cares. Just give me some of the ice cream.
They care. They'll all be calling tomorrow for the formula.
Of course. You drink your coffee with cream in it?
Just a splash of...
You should use that.
Really?
Oh, God, it's unbelievable.
Okay.
All right, so now all we have... Oh, let's add a little vanilla. Is this vanilla, by the way? This?
Yes, it is.
Okay. We'll add a little vanilla to that.
A little vanilla.
Well, my general formula is 1 ounce of vanilla for 1 quart of mix. It's much higher than it ever was in the industry. Everybody put in 1 ounce per batch. Is that right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Maybe
And
2.
then- yes, sir.
Is that extract or flavor?
Right.
Extract.
Extract.
If we find one.
All right, so we have vanilla, we have Nutella. Hey, get it?
Vanilla, Nutella.
All right, so we'll turn it on. And we'll mix that up. Now, we want to make a Variegate. A Variegate, the stripes in the ice cream, it looks so pretty. We'll try that. So to make a Variegate, we'll take a little of the mix. because we want to have the integrity of the flavor throughout the whole deal. But we do want a color change so you can see the stripes. Hello, is this working? Yeah. Okay. So we'll add a little chocolate, which should darken it a little. Just a little. And I thought I saw this. Let's add a little Kahlua. Okay? Yeah. Why not? Just a splash. And then we'll see if we get darker. Never saw Bobby Flay do this, did you?
Can I turn on the refrigeration?
Okay. That was a snide remark.
Yeah, it was.
Thinking I forgot.
No, I know you did.
But I like to have my Variegate ready. Good out, right? Okay, we have dark. Now, you know what? To thicken it up a little, I have a little, what? A little cocoa powder. That should thicken it up a little, right? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, I want to tell you, tough crowd today, you know?
They're so enthralled they can't speak.
Yeah, right. They're speechless. So we'll add a little cocoa powder and see if we can thicken it up that way. Just a little. We could almost use that drill thing, couldn't we, at this point? The Variegate you want a little thicker than your ice cream, and you want to let the ice cream run a little longer than you might, so that when you combine the two, the Variegate doesn't ooze into the ice cream and become just another part of the ice cream. You want it to maintain the stripes. So this is what we have so far. It's not quite thick enough for me. So I guess we'll add a little more of this.
Should it be like the consistency of cake mix?
What?
Should it be the consistency of like a cake mix or a batter?
Like heavy gravy. Yeah. Well, you'll see. After the first time when you screw it up, you'll understand. Well, you do. I'm still not great at it. The reason that this ice cream would be done already, but the reason it's not, let me see, why is it taking a little longer in the machine?
Because you forgot to turn it on. Sugar.
No, that's not it.
Tell them, Steve.
High content of sugar.
High content of sugar.
Very good.
What's 16 into 106? 16 into 106. 6, right? Where's that kid? Where is he? Where'd he go? Oh, there you are. Oh, no, okay. Ixnay on math, right? Anyway, 6 pounds of Nutella. Nutella's real high sugar, right? You know your Nutella. Okay, so let me move this because we'll have to see a Variegate. So that's my sermon on vanilla. We can talk at the break and I'll tell you what I did for vanilla. But of course, I don't get it for free like my friend Steve does.
No, but you use mine like you get it for free.
Absolutely.
Gee, he used to be an ounce for 500 gallons
Right.
until he found out he could buy it for free.
I used to measure it out with a dropper. Now it's here, it's free.
When we posed for that picture, we had to take the boxing gloves off.
Like Alfred E. Newman. Who knows who Alfred E. Newman is?
I do.
And Alfred E. Newman used to say, what, me worry? All right, how we doing here? It's still taking a long time, a lot of sugar. Okay, what do I want to talk about now?
Where did you buy your
I think we should discuss that after the break.
Come to his
Just in respect to the...
It's in his book.
It is, isn't it?
It's in your book.
Yeah, it is. you know, look, you can, I disagree with, as you know, we talked the last couple of days, I disagree with a lot of the industry. Rod's in the industry, Steve's friends are in the industry, and I go against a lot of it in making everything, ices, cream ice, and ice cream. It's just what I feel, you know? Yes, sir.
You added Kahlua to the mix. Does that make it now a more adult ice cream? Or
Well, I don't think I added a lot.
Right.
I just added a splash. If I were making this for sale in the store, I'd probably add a bottle, a full bottle.
Right.
But what I added was really just a kicker, for a little flavor. But I would add a bottle. Later, we're going to make a flavor. Later, we're going to make a flavor that is, it's the first time. How long have we been doing this class?
10, 12 years?
First time that we're making a full-bore adult flavor. Look at her. Not only does she like Nutella, but we're going to make a full-bore ice cream later. It's cherry amaretto. And I got to tell you, let me tell you how this happened. I was sleeping about 2 months ago in the middle of the night. True story. I woke up, cherry amaretto. And I wrote it down, because I always do that. And the next day I went in and I played with it. And now the first time I made it, it was a cream ice. And we called it cherry amaretto freeze. Because you can't call anything cream ice. They'll think you have a sex shop or something. So we called it cherry amaretto freeze. And people went crazy for it. And then I was making it a follow-up to it. All right, I'll tell you. And I didn't have enough amaretto. I keep a full liquor. I didn't have enough amaretto, so I decided to change it and make it cherry amaretto ice cream. And now all bets are off. I mean, we can't keep enough of it. So that's what we'll make today, cherry amaretto ice cream. Now, how do you know when it's ready? This is so critical. What? Yeah, when it holds a peak is my way to judge when it's ready. And I always pull it sooner than Steve. Wait, let's strike that. I don't. So it.
Yeah, there is no wrong way.
Well, there is a wrong way. That's what I'm getting at. There is a wrong way. I was teaching somebody to make ice cream the other day, 2 days before Christmas, and everything. And then I left. That's all right. We'll edit you out.
All right. Thank you.
And then I left, and then she continued to make another flavor totally on her own. Now, the yield in this machine is generally 6 gallons. 6 of these. I use 1 gallons. 6 of those is the yield in a 24-quart machine. So I said to her that night, "How'd you do?" She said, "I think I did great." I said, "How many did you get?" She said, "Little over 7. So there's a problem, right? What's the problem? I don't know how that works.
Too much air.
Too much air, which meant what? She waited too long to pull it. So it's just barely holding a peak. Now, when you use a Variegate, you got to let it go a little longer so it's stiffer, because you're going to be pouring this in and working with it. So if we pulled it now at this, it's going to be too thin, and the Variegate will just dissipate right into the ice cream, and it won't look like anything. This is really for looks. The taste is okay, but it's really for looks, and you'll see how pretty it does look, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're easily amused.
I have a low amusement level, that's true.
So that's why you want it a little stiffer. So when she told me she got a little over 7 gallons, I knew that she let it go too long. Now, there's a certain amount of pride there. I got 7 out of it. You only got 6. but no good. We tasted it, and what do you think it tasted?
Too airy.
A little weak. It was weak because you're taking the flavor of 6 gallons and now spreading it to 7. Yes?
Is that what that Halo ice cream is? Just airy ice cream? Like
That's
that?
right.
Well, actually, you go to the store and buy Breyers these days. Get a half gallon, open it up, and let it sit. And in 2 hours, the ice cream that was this high in the half gallon will be this, and it'll be just milky. Breyers really changed. When I was a kid, Breyers was the gold standard in ice cream. I loved Breyers. I used to go in the middle of the night to the refrigerator when I was a little fat kid. Now I'm a big fat kid. And I used to open the bottom and eat the ice cream so my parents wouldn't know that I was raiding. It's a true story. I used to do it all the time.
Ready?
Almost. Boy, look at how pretty that is.
Very nice.
Smooth, right?
I think Halo Top is the worst idea of a frozen dessert that ever existed. And I hate their marketing program because it's designed towards women to tell them that you can eat the whole container without guilt. Well, what's the sense of eating a whole container of a garbage product? They did, however, get sued because people said, I opened the container and it was only half full. Well, the supermarket let it melt sitting on the back loading platform before they put it in the freezer. And I offered to come up as an expert witness, as much as I hate their product, and say, no, they are producing at a 100% overrun or half air product, and since it was allowed to melt, the act of God, there was nothing wrong with it. There was no lawsuit there. They didn't take me up on the offer because they'd seen my videos like this saying, that's the most awful garbage on earth. But I try to be fair.
Wow.
Good? Ooh. This is the one with a little Kahlua in it.
No, this is the little Kahlua.
Oh, the Kahlua's in there.
Right,
Okay.
nothing, there's only Nutella and cream.
Oh, boy.
And a little of your expensive vanilla.
I'm going to try a taste before it all disappears.
Try this here.
Okay.
Now we make this also,
That's good.
isn't it? In the store we make this with chocolate mix. And it's called
Chocolate Nutella.
chocolate velvet. Right. Okay, so let's pull it now. And we'll see what happens. Now we'll
Michael,
get,
you pop me down. I have to go sign.
You hear the compressor click off? That's what I always wait for before I pull it. Oh, that's right. You want to help me or what?
Yeah.
No, I could have done that. Okay. Now we can stop it because we're going to turn it on in a bit. So we have almost 3 gallons of the ice cream that we're going to use. Now, this is what we made, which has chocolate, the base, give it Nutella flavor, and some Kahlua, right? So all we'll do is we'll pour it over the top. A little of it. And we'll give it, usually 4 folds. So we're going to fold, 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 and fold. And then you need this squeezable, look, every eye is up here, wow. You need this squeezable container because what you do now is you squeeze it as you pour it. And you'll see we should get...
It does look nice.
So you have to be careful not to do more than 4, maybe 5 folds because what happens then? It just incorporates into the ice cream.
Right, and you can now see if the ice cream isn't as thick as this was, or I would even let it go a little more, to tell you the truth. But then, you know, it'll just dissolve. But that's pretty good.
That's really good.
I'll be the judge of that.
Okay. So we got one. Now we're going to have to re-variegate.
Hey, Jeff, that's pretty good.
That's good. So now we'll re-variegate into a little more.
Just suck it up.
And we'll give it some folds. Truthfully, you probably know, I don't. I don't know how they variegated before I came up with this. How do they do? No, I'm serious. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I still don't know how they do it. Steve will probably know. Okay.
A similar concept, hand variegating, is similarly done like that.
How would you variegate?
The pickle guy won't know.
How would you variegate?
So I'd pull off a third of a tub, and I'd put a layer over the top of that, and I'd do a checkerboard pattern. So down, straight down and pull, straight down and pull, and then go the other way. That gives you good incorporation of the variegate through the ice cream, and it brings it right to the corners. Then I do another layer, do the same thing, the third layer, the same thing, and then put some on the top. Now, this is an excellent way to do it.
Now you said you have a product, iRice, that's a variegate.
Well, manufacturers like us make variegates. Okay, so we make chocolate variegates, caramel variegates, salty caramel, marshmallow, peanut butter, fruit variegates, and so they're already pre-made. You just add it the exact same way as what Jeff's doing.
And obviously you can control whether you want a lot of stripes or little stripes or whatever. But I think one of the keys is to put some of the mix after you blend your flavors into this, because I like the variegate to have a little of that, like this, the variegate will taste a little Nutella-y. Is that a word?
It is today.
It is today. A little Nutella-y. Not hard, is it? But what do you need? The absolute thing you need, a squishable bucket. Can't do it without a squishable bucket, because when you squish it, that's what makes those stripes. All right, we should get one more and then we'll start eating it. Now, can you do this with Italian ice, cream ice? Damn right you can. And nobody's doing it. So do it.
What would you use in the ice? What would you suggest?
It depends. Give me a flavor of ice.
Cherry.
Cherry?
I don't know.
How banal. Come on, let's get something a little whippy. Cherry banana with chips in it?
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Rainbow.
Rainbow? Come on, you're back in the 50s, Sammy.
How would you do rainbow?
How about pickled maple bacon?
But to use your example, cherry. So if you start selling cherry, you're going to be like every ices maker in the world. Don't do it. Step outside. Cherry banana chip. Now we're cooking a little bit. So let's say cherry banana chip. What would you make as a variegate? Come on, you tell me.
Banana would be the variegate?
Well, banana usually.
Chocolate.
Hey, because you got chocolate chips. So make a chocolate. Take your flavor of cherries and bananas. Put it in here. Make a swirl. Use some cocoa powder or anything to thicken it, and then add some chocolate. Add whatever you want. If you really want to go out of the box.
And ice, wouldn't that be gross?
No, it's good.
Yeah?
That's really good.
What?
Chocolate and ice.
Oh, yeah.
People love it. People really do love it.
A lot of people do soft serve with it for a gelato.
You know what the problem is? The problem is, for 100 years, ices have been the same thing, lemon cherry chocolate. Then they branched out, ooh, how about Superman ices or you know, what? But they're still in the basement when you got the whole building to go up. look at all the ice cream flavors and make them ices. Ice cream flavors are the gold standard because they're coming up with great things. Translate it to ices or cream ice. Should we try this? You want to try this? It's pretty good. Okay. Rod, you going to scoop a Ruski?
I am.
Okay. I'm going to start with the first one or the last one. I don't care.
I want you to get some striping, so.
Whoever says just a little, they're lying.
Thank you, sir.
Now, of course, it would be better if we put it in the freezer and let it set up a little. But that's all right.